Gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about China. That's right, we're going to be talking about China. Do you guys know that while the rest of the world is frantically hunting for a Rolex watch, the Chinese are desperately dumping theirs? That's right. The Chinese are desperately dumping their watches, their Rolex watches, or should I say luxury goods. You know, they're also dumping Hermes ladies' bags. That's right. But before I get into that subject, let's go into my magical intro. So guys, I'm back. So like I was telling you earlier, you know, many of the Chinese citizens that are well off are selling off their luxury goods. That's right. They're selling off all their unwanted luxury goods. Like what? Like Rolex, like Hermes ladies' bags. They're getting rid of them. They just don't want them. They're called the unwanted luxury goods. In particular, Rolex watches. You know, in China, there's even fights going on over those unwanted Rolex watches. That's right. I know it's hard for you to believe that, but in China, they have unwanted Rolex watches that they don't want any longer. And they're selling it to the secondary market. That's right. They're selling all those watches they're unwanted to the secondary market. Or should I say secondary grade watch market? At bottom basement prices. That's right. These well-off Chinese citizens are just getting rid of all those timepieces. I should say Rolex, I should say APs, I should say Pateks, and even Richard Mille. That's right, even Richard Mille. Isn't that hard to believe? And those are the well-off people or the well-off citizens that live in China. You know, I don't know if you guys are aware, but China has been in lockdown since March of 2022. That's right, they've been in lockdown regarding the pandemic. They're trying to control this somehow. That country's trying to control this pandemic. But the funny thing is, in August, tens of thousands of tourists went to a part of China which is called Hanning, which is like the Hawaii of the United States, where all the tourists go. They went in August to this beach playground, you know, and they've been stuck there since August, and today is November the 1st, and they cannot get out of that little island of Hanning. And people there are just going, you know, practically they're going bananas regarding the lockdown, regarding the subject of the economy, a recession. So I spoke to you about, you know, the well-off selling their watches. Now I'm gonna talk to you about the middle class. The middle class are just dumping every watch they have. They're dumping them to the secondary market, to the pawn shops, and their Rolex watches over there at 50% value. 50% value. An example, the watch costs $10,000, they're selling it for $5,000. You have so many Submariners over there, Rolex Submariners, you won't believe it. You won't believe the pawn shops don't know what to do with so many Rolex Submariners. If you want to get watches, you got to go to China, if you can get in there. If you can get into China. I mean, there's ladies' Hermes bags, Louis Vuitton, Fendi, all luxury goods. They're getting rid of all these watches at bottom basement prices. You won't believe that, what's going on over there. If you can get over there to China, you can find any Rolex you want over there. Any Rolex you want. They're getting rid of all their watches. You won't believe that they're doing that with the Rolex watches. You won't believe it, but it's true. They're getting rid of all their Rolex watches. It's unbelievable what's happening in China. I mean, If you don't want to believe me, you don't have to believe me. Google it. Google it and look into it and you see what I mean. Google it. Don't be afraid to Google. I Google search. You know, when I don't believe something or I think it's not, I just Google it and look for it, do research. You should do that. So Google it, and you're gonna find out the truth. You know, China is something really big happening over there. There's just watches everywhere. You won't believe the watches that, you know, people that I know are telling me that they're getting over there. I mean, I don't want to tell you the prices because it's, you know, you guys won't believe me. But anyway, there's a big thing happening in China. Like I said again, there's fist fights over there. You know, there's fist fights over those unwanted Rolex watches. Can you believe that? Unwanted Rolex watches in China? I've never heard of such a thing in my life, but there is. I mean, there is unwanted Rolex watches everywhere. In the secondary market, I mean, they're everywhere. You won't believe the watches that are over there. And I'm talking about heavy hitter watches at 50% off. That's right. Situation is bad over there. The economy, recession, pandemic. And these people over there, they take it very, very seriously. We're here going crazy, frantically looking for Rolex watches, you know, while they're thinking over there how they're gonna pay their monthly mortgage, their car payment, their insurance, their children's tuition. You know, they're doing that. They're selling their luxury goods. They don't want them no more. I don't want this no more. Forget about the Hermes bag. Forget about the AP watch. Forget about the Rolex watch. They don't want it. That's what's happening in China. If you guys didn't know that, that's really happening in China at this moment. Today is November the 1st, 2022, and that's happening in China. So if you have any contact in China, that's the place for you to get your Rolex watch, all the timepiece you're looking for. You know, we know that the gray market is gonna go into a war, you know, a war very, very soon with all the other secondary gray watch dealers. That's right, there's gonna be a big war going on. There's gonna be, in the next month and a half, you know, the next month and a half, November, December, there's gonna be an outbreak war with the secondary gray watch market dealers. That's right, they're gonna have it out. They're gonna have it out. They're gonna have to get rid of all those watches they've been holding on, because they're holding on to them. They're holding on to them, but they're gonna have to get rid of them. Okay? Stay easy, stay put. They're gonna have to get rid of them. And then, guys, watches that come naked without no paperwork, those watches gotta be sold automatically at 50% off. That's right, those watches that come naked, no paperwork, no certificate, no guarantee, none of that stuff, those watches will have to be sold in the secondary gray watch market at 50% off. If the watch costs $20,000, it costs $10,000 because there's no paperwork, there's nothing. It's a ghost watch. It's a ghost watch. You can't even send it in to get, you know, to get a service, because once it goes into the service and there's no paperwork of that watch, they stay with the watch. The watch is stolen. Okay? So be careful. There's gonna be a real big outbreak war amongst the secondary gray watch market. That's right, a big war is gonna happen. I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about the watch market update on prices, and I have some prices for you. One of the first prices that I have for you, that I spoke to you on my last video regarding this watch, is the Rolex Root Beer Two-Tone. That's right, the Rolex Root Beer Two-Tone. I think I told you last week that watch was at $16,000. Guys, don't pay more than $15,000 for that Rolex Root Beer Two-Tone. That's right, don't pay more than $15,000. And dropping. My other watch is the Rolex GMT Yellow Gold Green Dial 50th anniversary. That watch went all the way up to $60,000. Don't pay for that watch no more than $36,000. And dropping, and dropping, and dropping. No more than $36,000 for the Rolex GMT 50th anniversary Green Dial Yellow Gold. Next watch is the Rolex Sky Dweller. The Rolex Rose Gold Sky Dweller. That watch was at a moment at 80, 70, 60. Don't pay more than $49,000 for that Rolex Rose Gold Sky Dweller. That's right. Don't pay more than $49,000 for that watch. You heard that right. And dropping. One more time, and dropping. My next watch is the Patek Philippe Aquanaut 5167 stainless steel with a stainless steel bracelet. You know, that watch at one moment was at $130, was at $130,000, then $90,000, then $80,000. I'm just gonna jump right into it. They just finished offering me one for $50,000. Full set, box, paper, certificate, guarantee, the whole shalom. I won't even pay $40,000 for that Patek Philippe Aquanaut 5167. I won't even pay $40,000. That's right, you heard that right. I wouldn't even pay $40,000 for that watch. I mean, this is what I understand. Maybe you guys have other prices that, you know, you understand. But these are the prices that I understand. You know, root beer, it was at $35,000. Don't pay more than $15,000 for that root beer. Okay? Sky Dweller was worth at one moment $80,000. It's down to $49,000. GMT 50th anniversary Yellow Gold Green Dial was at $60,000+. My God, don't pay more than $36,000. Don't pay more than $36,000. And the Patek Philippe Aquanaut. Patek Philippe Aquanaut 5167 was at $130. I wouldn't even pay $40,000 for that 5167 stainless steel bracelet. That's right, I wouldn't. Full set, I wouldn't. And my last watch is this big heavy hitter. You know, the Rolex Daytona, but not this one. Not this Rolex Daytona stainless steel. The Rolex Daytona Platinum. Rolex Platinum Daytona with a diamond dial. You know, that Rolex Daytona was at one moment $185,000. The one I'm gonna talk to you about. This Rolex Platinum Daytona diamond dial was at $180,000. Gentlemen, don't pay more than $95,000 for that Rolex Platinum Daytona. You heard that? Again, I'm gonna say it. Don't pay for that Rolex Platinum Daytona diamond dial more than $95,000. And dropping. And dropping. Can you believe that? $180,000, $95,000. Don't pay more than $95,000 for that Rolex Platinum Daytona diamond dial. Well, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. You learned something from the situation in China, where you can go get all your watches at. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like my video. And gentlemen, like I always say, take care and brush your hair.